So
It's just recording.
Seems like a good fit to me. Hey, it's all right. That's spicy. Spicy buffalo sauce.
No.
I don't know that we've ever actually been properly introduced.
Oh, yeah, Sarah Sanchez. Nice to meet you.
Kirk, I know from one warm summer, Birmingham.
You want anything from all of us?
I'm okay, actually. Thank you so much.
Yes. Pepperoni, Italian sausage, and onion pizza. I'm just thinking about my answers.
The answer is yes.
You didn't have like small personal
I think so, yeah. I'll show you. You can look at the menu. Pepperoni Italian sausage.
Onion. Basically, like, whatever, like that, basically, any pizza that nobody would make out with me after I ate it. Caitlin is going to be pissed. Is this your bag?
No.
Is this yours?
no.
Marginalized you.
Diet Coke, Coke Zero.
You don't have to stand, do you?
Yes. Is that an
Worried that it was a college tournament.
Is that an option?
The Kirk is
Regrettably.
Oh, no.
anything for you? Paul, you want some food? Mafiosis?
Yeah, I gave Robbie my
Okay, great.
I changed my mind. I was gonna say no, and then I
The
feel like I said yes.
GNT.
It's okay.
Just put it in there.
What's it? Yeah.
You guys go and get back already? No. Boy, I promise you. All right.
Professor Quinn, I was like, not like the personal size, but like the monster size. Whatever's in between for kind of a badass, but not someone who has no dignity. I think that's listed. We actually bring us some tape for that. Hours later.
Lay the tournament.
What?
Any other drinks?
Okay.
Thank you, Robbie.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
You're here. Okay. I'm so psyched that I got logged out of this stuff. Might make up for it. Do you want me to keep track of prep?
Did it great. Yeah.
Yes.
I think we have to break that.
You ready? Okay. You're actually fine. Okay. All right.
Have fun.
Advantage when a space whether the risk is high and set to be the impact is immediate. Miles with level space with the most serious problems. Not a matter of it's a matter of winning. How big space will become more dire. The sun runs up to solar maximum 2013. We're looking for solar events, stronger events, for rotates, flare, major frail part of it, such you know, immediately towards the goods as well as ejection that sending into doctors to come work and north of the traffic is where it's different on saddles. We gotta be scared of the will not take them seriously in space whether it's a global railway and transport system. Tap tend to be trains are not for space with the fundamental electric transport space. Well, the national guards and railways, such as the boat, that all countries are aware of the effective national signal sets of the staff get, there's all the problems being made, and training coach, lots of communications, and a solar radio interference could break those links and bring the railway movement to hard transportation business, or to an array of space with the national railways, or keeps your agricultural transport, breakthrough generation, provide transportation, back for producers, and transporting quickly, how to do a risk control that order, embarrassing journey to the fighting against electric findings, to maintain electric grid, information about national security, the scheme, U.S. ag industry, courtsmen, 5 verification of basic differences in every farm and business use, items depending on the effectiveness of transportation system, class of U.S. ag, means impacts and chemical extinction, Lugar, Japan, work environment, based on nuclear, so disease, blue side, of the long-range term, we do so about parasites, not only prevent starvation, also working towards the work minimum sector, use global instability, particularly the position, productivity, revolution, access, productivity, manipulating world, survival of the planet, increasing civil society, data sharing with our military, secrecy, utilizing their agency information, that's all have good 10 responses to go response assets that can operate through the space, weather conditions, response best space, through the activities of the year, that gives reduce such a reduce risk of death, drugs, and the cost may be minimized, and country restrictions, procedures, that response to existing conditions, that lots of attending information, space with the condition, to the working to use for form, basic information attack, and be access information, treated with the use of today, for and to provide good awareness of space, whether we need sensory, good SSA, just to say, rest of the cost issues, partner included, in the key malicious and SNOA awareness, and allow business to allow just wrong, and taking operations to bring the knowledge, would be for thought about one to change information, that changes under tamper by the extra confidence having the space industry need to share the knowledge, releasing the anonymous sources, needing to increase awareness of space, whether civil SSA needs to be in space and shared among governments, it's all weighted, and it's the same for civil ports, the space, whether actors and positions, and representatives of the community around the earth, and enormous team, because those of the third partners of the internet, academics, and business, successful monitoring, the implements for places where they can monitor on the L. One point is from location, the requirements which you've got on the ship is rather monitoring then international cooperation, data sharing about space actors, guards, the government, for the market data today, the current cooperation not made under a single agency, that means it'll fail on zero, the 6 individual agencies of particular collaboration of our starting cards to share container, not more than the subject no international data, WF's loss came within the satellite, the dependent on fire, the water source, space was identity, the water fire, data source, security like this, but also situational awareness is a critical state down, but like a civil SSA is holding us back, the 10 term is doing yesterday, or an anatomy, natural based off of the show, when a global based spreading the ability, the greatest reward, probable graduate solution, maybe international cooperation for national social community, the distance, the character, that maybe consider sensitive use, most significant national such as the bullshit, the system, the essence, primary active for the SSA active for the such into such a function to an international SSA, entity would be next to multi organizations, spies, or resort secrecy, to get this source, to gender stability, being effective space, and the production and minus, enduring mission within the serve the year, so they will come to organization or be disadvantaged, active as that, unless an organization would be distrustful to the collaborative partner and US-led cooperative SSA, central international legal regime, encourages international cooperation, read it 9. International civil society will refer to the secret of participation government of corruption in military civil society for the game of voting characters the capabilities that have cash for against the second global solution of the US budget game of the rank and accurate space the capabilities of the restructuring of financial and telescope to do like a side hemisphere coverage of our solution be international solution and interconnections today's basis of multi many benefits and such as the cooperation with the voting rules like little conflict results for fear primary states and state for future space government model advantage to aerospace cruise missile proliferation increasing now being caused global nuclear war telegraph for many countries to pursue increase missile parts of platform for not being developed or have a weapons or more evidence the nature of going to see and capability to purchase foreign exchange production ongoing nuclear systems, the environment security systems, aggravated system, missiles, all this is direct potentially to be covered with the so technology gives us for that which about global preemptive doctrine means increased missile security, rapid escalation, orderly increased so prolific missile growth can make any early interrupt like nuclear power would reduce catastrophic catastrophic climate to like the implication of the group, missile proliferate cheap because missile that is to come over the preemptive doctrine weapons and therefore to take for some parts of tactics capable of reducing the sense of results sensitive to take research reliance on the doctrine do it actually take the initiative to preempt strength moving closer to lower threshold 3P then we're an aerospace power processor self screwless cruise missile proliferate harder and these small types of aircraft start robotic propellers missiles other aircraft where challenges to get to critical missiles heating up or these strategies over the hours the achieving actually the likelihood of that first year's long term US states would mention more than they can start with by integrated defense ACM for air and space systems to gain command of the air rapid load is friendly and cruise missiles there's more system on the ground and the air transporting cruise missiles and the aerospace power surpassing the US coast of the East Asian war so and the East Asian the aerospace power surpassing time one Japan and India the US coast of most significant capabilities contributing to aerospace and balances to be delivered and cruise missiles as mentioned the infrastructure of China decisive road dominated aerospace as potential to regional and subroad shift the aerospace while upside down rapid fabric use less powerful will launch to consider weapons as delivery and turns against the after one balance and changes that changes China's decision calculus stokes the East and 10 weapons as projected then the great route to media are directly political PRC such vessels and liquid psychological effects bases are reported as military political cycle degree utility time on origin time capabilities during aerospace grades and information to leadership to greater risk and growth zero relation resorting to wars of World War III home big kind of war between China and the escalation of the force nuclear conflict for war countries to be drawn at the war time with attack to trade war with international stand up there over the world not be effective focusing on civil space services trade officers war fighting defense aerospace power McKinley to get trade economy just between aerospace the efforts of being organization focused on aerospace efforts information to aerospace infrastructure to later independent critics now to air operations on the replace our aerospace services integrating our operational create aerospace on the gate of becoming aerospace on the basis of war fighting winning from the force of position to go to aerospace armors like not problem war fighting something things space services days zero so much environment not from that money more complicated still in front of the efforts not in front of the base of air and space airframe and looking at the legislative the efforts more about these space services the plan rebalances air for priorities and transition the air force with aerospace power mosquito solving kit, the 2K show the best actors, exact sample, preference of the proposal crazy earth, the fully capable space force, structure, space versus the US Space Guard, the Space Guard responsibility for space operation, control space force, nation of areas, space force enhancement, space control chair, work as a space force, safety, security, satellite, detector, minimization issue, making disabled satellite, trees, supply station, refueling station, limiting space, to be connected, search and rescue, monitoring, treatise, control space, pursuing the above recommendation, rules, both space control, allowing the air force to refocus its attention on the core warfighting responsibility, must let everything else outside the framework of global origin, global power, and home in the air force must use set the imperative for a fundamental defense of all space sources, addressing space sources, the air force, to free from the war, fighting without becoming the enormous financial responsibility of the mission, nation, space services, plan, the United States federal government should develop space guard, civil space situation awareness, industry, smart power, the seven of cyber attack, zero cost extinction, vigorous anti-tech, to reduce military operational capabilities in nature, to go to share offensive Russian dynastic, name orders, the cyber warfare, posture, defensive offers, use our relations of fractures, conflict, and competition, the degrees of the front, the like, president of cyber attack, aggregate, better common marks, being confident in technical cost, the effect that could jeopardize the entire grade, we would only fear the internal risk of the technical grade, we're perfect across the water record, researchers and technical all information data systems and enemy for when they were using the understood under matter insurance, making a significant more at risk, making more smart power goes, the world's use all protects by cyberspace mark, then there's no better example of emergency for template smart rather than cyberspace development for that, whoever capitalizes the first step for the service cyberspace smart, no to destroy the loss and critical to being finance service for that, which is amendment like legally, but regulations involving national principles, U.S. constructed leadership, international efforts, enhanced legal ship, that the failure to control terror to one country, every implication of legal and dispensable, those are imposing cyberspace on perception of legitimacy is crucial, smart power not in our dish of having smart power space, that's what's up, no, the real long beyond, and it's impossible to win the hours of authority, your message, well, and it's for our venture farmers, and not always get to the campus, and choose to set the smart power thing, generally subjected to the more say, will do between the smart power means the dropping hard and top by the undisclosed from which also massive ownership and structural legitimacy of action, multi SSA seen as a monopoly perception, is key, Roberts, 5 GBA, that's going to be used unless the SSA policy point, I think there's a reason for they present monopoly perception, found under those focus to control the AS and monopoly, the US vote to control TVS, most likely US can signal and leading line service, control monopoly gender competition not bad, but if you're to fully share capable of mathematical war, methods legitimacy, air force effectiveness, and space brown, not even believes that he's monopolized space capture, localized objective to this, for you at the moment, that the secret to increase, but it goes to go back to the flag, and US all our space all problems by the ability to gain high credit increases, letting critical influence or confidence in their notification to multiple roles and ways, the US influence the US being sometimes popular policies associated with religious and limited interaction, company with suspicion because of the use, they have making it far more difficult for the for job, first prediction and legitimacy is also scenarios of extinction, not 96 of the voters, it's actually between one of the people that feel like computer conflict, conference, and wars, and escalation, propaganda, rights, and rights, escalation, but the that's just the effect of the confidence, most often, and hardly not acting alone, rather shifting over relation offensive to shared concerns, interaction, organization, State Department, SSA, fails, and status quo road, although attending Clinton, that's the should much work together, responsibility, and the U.S. was least state leadership, and state of components of the presidential degree in space market space.
Aerospace. Your evidence indicates that they
Aerospace?
Sure. Aerospace. It just indicates that we have to develop LACM capabilities. Do we have those now?
No, it's not about us having LACM capabilities,
sorry.
to mitigate other nations.
Counter LACM capabilities. Do we have the capabilities to counter LACM?
What do you mean the capabilities?
Like, it indicates we have
yes,
to
some of them. We don't have any effective strategy against defending them. I don't know exactly which technology we have and how tech is oriented, but the main
I think that's
argument.
an important question.
No, not really. The argument that our aerospace and drone
counter
is more about.
LACMs. Do we have the technology?
We probably have the technology now. It's about coordination.
So it's just about doing
Okay,
it.
right now, cruise missiles are distinct from things like ballistic missiles and nuclear weapons because they're not regulated by international treaties, etc. Right now, aerospace technology is the only way to counter that because it uses the air and
So you just need to use
monitor
aerospace
and supply chains that go through like China
Alright,
as well as
that's fine. Your cyber-terror interlink indicates from 2 years ago that China has the capabilities. When will they strike?
It says that they're developing the capabilities to use them.
Okay,
Yes,
when
that
is
will
the
change
strike?
our decisions.
And why are they striking, actually?
What?
Why are they striking?
Striking what? It says that it would change their ability to balance power in Asia, make them more aggressive, and encourage the nationalists. So it would be a way for the PLA to overcome the doves in the government and now say that, look, now we actually have the capability to achieve our goals, even if that wasn't
when
previously
are they
possible.
going to develop it? If your course from 2 years ago, I'm pretty sure, where does it say they're developing now?
It says
It says they're developed.
No, it says they're investing in it and modernizing.
Investing in it and modernizing. When is
Sure, let me find
modernization
it.
going to be complete?
I mean, I don't have the exact date.
Okay.
We'll say before your JSATs. You're right, it doesn't give a date
Okay.
because it's a thing that is they're taking
Alright,
seriously.
cool. Let's talk about the SSA interlink and the first advantage. You say we need civil SSA right now. Why doesn't the fact that we still have military SSA post-plan take that out?
Couple and terminals. First of all, our argument is that civil SSA under the military is what makes it fail, not so much the existence of
So
military
we just
SSA in
need
this thing.
another SSA now?
Well, it's a little more complicated. That the argument is that the military should not be in charge of civil space services, and that divesting civil space services completely from the military is the way to solve. Second is our agency cooperation
All this
argument.
is about is that we need a separate agency that has civil SSA.
No, that's one internal argument. Is that it has to be divorced from the military. We have multiple reasons why
Divorce
a
from the
space guard has to
military.
do that.
So divorce from the military.
A
separate.
space guard has to do that. It should be a
Space
new entity
guard.
that can then
Why is it
focus
a
on
space
it
guard?
entirely.
Why is
Our
it
evidence
a
indicates that
space
they will
guard?
attract the best personnel. There won't be
Why is
a
it to be a space guard?
Only a space guard, an agency dedicated specifically to civil space services,
Okay.
can focus all of its resources necessary on civil
So it's a
space
question of
services.
resources.
It's
It's a
a
question of
question of focus, personnel, and coordination.
Okay.
Also having it all under a single agency, not NASA, NOA, or the
Okay,
US,
sure.
and changing that jurisdiction is the only way
Why
to
do
coordinate
countries
responses to
want
space
civil
weather.
SSA?
Hmm?
This might be a simplistic question. Why do other countries want SSA?
Well, probably so their satellites don't hit things in space, among other things.
Wait, so okay, why does like other?
If you don't know where things are in space,
Why do great powers like China or Russia even care about this one? I guess. Why,
satellites are expensive. They don't want their satellites to crash.
okay, good enough.
It will be 9 off, aerospace.
Yeah, we're happy.
The aerospace advantage, the space weather advantage, the smart power advantage.
We have 7 or 8.
But we're not gonna, like, I'm not gonna be as
Yeah.
draconian as Mahoney was about the.
Is it just called Green Hill?
No,
One
one
is
is
final?
one is finals. Green Hill is the 1 and C minus some stuff.
All right, 9 off, then aerospace, solar weather, smart power.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. The joke was only funny for a second. Moment passed. Well, you said that tabs here.
Yeah, no, I have to create some copies of.
Yeah.
It's having me a party.
We're good, I think.
Are you?
I'm
Community
good,
comes.
but,
Give me 1 second.
yeah.
Yeah.
You good?
I was waiting for.
I am good.
All right, everyone's ready?
First off, is team messenger interpretation. Messenger 51 miles above the surface, national weather service above the messenger, 56 miles above the surface, valley, they create a space guard under the messenger, which means they are not beyond messenger, coordinated from ground, they move coordinated. This is like how much you go, crowd around the distance, also they kill the limits just fine. In around the messenger, limited space, and next off is to increase means something, to become the increase means something, become larger, a commodity that's going from our counter, not only increase valuation, increase just shift responsibility, but completely, it's okay, this is it, what is about the fixed operation currently, director of national space investigation, you assume responsibility for missions from existing space structure, voting, different ground rate, assigning current capable does not provide us with spending or any other additional possible next off is teaching and developing set prices, looking at terrorists, and setting for including so individually, space development, technology, developing defense, organization, space isolation, isolation, is the keyword necessary for the working sim isolation, not frustration, is simply finding all that business that regarding what is isolation, expansion, is a humanizing the expansion, is the expansion of human bringing people in places, situation, around expansion, the context of space, as your accident addresses number of questions that especially be accomplished only by the human presence and voting for limiting ground all 100 as that do not include presence during a disabled weapons all creating the watching the problem of space today until some there's often takes next off is politics, payroll tax, and low pass, specifically one of the president's becoming candles for Trump, no for your own such as December, made it for the political overhand and moments of Congress will extend to the under 20 the payroll, no sex, essential, not having the final trying to have plus we are in a major break with the one would require that capital, but no one creates space or would involve message instruction or engagement US government change. This makes you require the expenditure of political not because the ability to wait for the extension of the city funds organization making it illicit is essential negative response from other parties that execute the county employment results of payroll taxes are less than the interval and authority fail the economic opportunities and the stimulus from the more benefits spent consumer research job creation tax and encouraging utilization for service the city use that employed by tens of millions of females we most people in the state holiday was better than the world this would have disastrous in our recovery any good rich right now government actions are jarring impact of powers less efforts fall by the most destructive war in human history desperation goals after that's real then engulfs the world to come with China these are the sensibilities of it's just begun and this is the potential open path national information the China refugee and habitats in the pathway this is directly and issues one of their theories of potential democracy, central northeast, versus democracy, versus democratic, not individual wealth, increase in number of failed states, number 0, race for general wealth, quickly common cost, number of the international system next off is accounted by the Department of Defense to develop transparent space force situational awareness and offer data information to cooperative civil space situational awareness efforts to reduce barriers against the release of high historical data permit the joint space operations centers whose owner operated data to update the master technical portable space operations modify the joint space operations center system to automatically receive and translate owner operated information, not create a space guard, create a space weather satellites, weather conditions, increase weather, the data sharing of the EGIS committee, observation provide all necessary support for necessary civil space situation, and any additional necessary points to assistance, assistance secretary for space interpretation, should increase its requirements for the Department of Defense, no police board, LSC, and defense capabilities. Any other points here? Space Force sourcing entirety of the and lack of resources to recommended force, field based construction work, pursuing the mission rate, single channel, space, depending on resolution rates of data, from the social transfer to the government investment system to keep on generation, encourage the civil sector mission, research to the emphasis, making your first edition, shall be the university, so, 5% knowledge of crime, research opportunity, more opportunities to create this with the first reducing barriers, he knew, data sharing council, natural transportation, data sharing arrangement, those make one recipient, get invested in Oracle, the actions the data would be, chase more police or police train, that while the operators perform their own application, having more accurate data would reduce falls on the starter rate, undermine operating costs, the use the international data should go long to reduce the result, make collision upgrades, satellite cells, space, whether have good, into the annual versus the rest of the operating case, space, and you'll subscribe to the second one is 6% data sharing cells, space, whether we can tell that, you can see percentage of we saw their single agency internal install, streamlined individual agency that to investigate international cooperation, international governments observe the NSWPD's work, international cooperation together, data by development, commercial NSWP assessment, space weather data, space weather data, along with the USA, NASA, SSA, Salt, and antenna, the civil agency, US government, this one function, contemporary, close background, SSA, foreign affairs, system, also, U.S. persistent international activities, some say, University of North America, SSA, new relative models, budget, such vehicle development, this opportunity, could make it significant future small, tax issues, and SSU, the Cyber versus Assistant Secretary of Defense can increase civilian involvement, cooperation with the Assistant Secretary of Defense, how to make sure, concession, a practicing, much introducing greater transportation convention, Assistant Secretary of Defense, budget, subsidies, coordination, assistance requirements, and soft Z, the tax office for the benefits of plan stories, cooperation, and procedure implementation, also to the organization company for national government for the Space Force, the Space Force will endeavor for ready for second experience of the service guide, and you further, ensuring that the best of Space Force might consider possibility to weaponization, the war is concerned, there's opportunities to make those kinds of in Japan in terms of would be able to learn how to the same there, organizations will be able to find out here, so as specific moment, was also this first having time to watch straight walks, risk branch of the chance to say, what is the role of attention ranks and launch, highly competent, the most other countries, so you bounce all over once today, there's negotiation groups and details of real out to consumer episodes made, and then we're trying to secure all nations, the international agreement from military relative to true battle space warfare is not double done, and raising policy should have with that, because the emerging process was in war, basic cruise, basic operations, six spatial one insurance, those are things that the space was so for air, it does serve to have your rest of the military, but still needs to stay up any. This is just make corporate centers a little bit more set. It would be used to go biological weapons and accident war policy rules, once the structure conflict ever. See next off is the defense guys said they are perceived as one better 10 minute region traditional case like press reference such a so defense structure all but research fairness space certainty no deep rapid essential like with the simple agents who continue to represent itself and is different as destroys the Germany kicking operation defense about that every time was the outside percent and having taken the world to the American retreat on this space ourselves more than what worries out was like golden air that was the station about 11 American center across the world so far we versus the responsibility to live in the changes to the moment like already globalization also was great for the world's ever in American movies after they were not the ones who go outside the coast of the world and I can start pressure war America this is having bad issue with pressure way power between globalization results in crashing the price of achieving from pressure we had for world government what we do we'll just keep this for next off is the kind of one takes United States government to binding consultation with the government of the Russian Federation the Russian Council of the United States for the government to develop this area space for civil situation where the United States for the government will and again most of the consultation process be clear about this gives all relations over future policy 102 the Mexican Russia listen for free Russian global rights over comment the kind of records are stronger cooperation for great for every tour this is making possible cities about the internationally not only increase government's Russian side and regional rights most speculating I'd say they're circle by the Russian neighborhood build a relation to principle joint decision cooperation is possible says whole consultation veto power against all terrorism and look there's social conventions here in Russian NATO every one station on mass city required to go to the US and awards of Europe and States with the hang to Russian NATO have great people with technical shells Russian NATO sent by the situation Russia and they would not react to that's taking most but it's sure they raise it whether there's also possibilities of being close to us say decision making Russian leaders are Canadian will not Russian right to veto even if it's US as well as those are not for the major constant extension I suggest you're basically the rest should go outside
Status quo is always an option.
Is politics and that counter plan?
I don't believe so. The first one.
The first one, also the consultant's disposition.
Oh,
Okay, and you're saying politics is a net benefit to the advantage counter plan? Okay, so the advantage counter plan massively has us increased funding for NASA, has the
I
DoD
wouldn't
develop
say
new
it's
cruise
massive.
missile defense systems,
I don't know what about the.
and spend money on
I
satellites.
don't know
How is that
I don't know
possible?
what about the counterplan mandates a massive increase in NASA's budget.
It says the
Kind of
DoD will
super-
substantially increase its assistance to NASA's civil space situational awareness efforts.
First, there's a distinction between controversy and being able to spend local capital. Our space guard link indicates that people would have to convince other policymakers that the plan is actually a good idea. Just because there's controversy.
And people wouldn't have to convince policymakers that new spending on space is a good
In
idea?
fact, there might be controversy.
Okay,
It's not the same thing as spending alone.
Sure, let's talk about a couple. First, are they plank to the counter plan conditional?
No.
Okay, let's talk about the plank to the counter plan and the solvency card for it that you have tagged as solves transparency. You have this as solving transparency and data sharing and SSA tracking, right? Okay, cool. So the line after, you've got it kind of underlined, so it sort of says that. It says transparency into the tracking and manage, but then it says of multi-service
Yeah, it's that
procurement
program
programs.
talking about.
Oh, sure, I've got it in like 42-point font right here. Your Lambeth evidence. It's talking about tracking and management of procurement programs, not data in space or sensors in space. It's talking about the budgeting process within the government. How is this the same as
Nor does the,
transparency
like,
and data sharing?
other planks in the counterplan that also resolve.
There's one plank that solves transparency. We're going to talk about that one first.
Okay.
How do you think this talks about transparency of space data?
This is pretty explicit.
It's talking about transparency of the U.S. budgeting process.
That
Seems a
also
little
says
different.
tracking and management of data that the United States uses. If it uses one program.
Where does
as
it
an
say
example,
data that the United States uses?
It says tracking. Okay.
Where?
Such an arrangement would provide a single budget mechanism for introducing greater transparency into the tracking and management.
Of multi-service space procurement programs. Okay.
Yes. So it uses.
So
that
let's talk about the
example,
let's talk about the weaponization. Let's talk about the weaponization. As I said, I want to make a distinction really clear. The plan creates, or the plan would result in the creation of a space guard, not a space force, not a space corps. A space guard would be separate from the military. Space force, space corps
A
would.
space guard external from the military. We had this discussion
Sure.
last cross.
Well, we're going to have it again. This MILSAT evidence is talking about a space force under the military that would have goals such as operational control with an emphasis on space control. How is that a civil agency?
This evidence says that there is a distinction between
It's
between
talking about independent of the Air Force. Again, you just said some funny underlining.
Exactly.
No,
It's
but not independent of the military. It'd be under like STRATCOM. When it says
Wait,
independent Air Force,
your
it doesn't
agency is
separate
within the
unit.
military?
No, your agency is within the military.
Exactly. It is. Right?
Which is why it doesn't apply to the act. But
Which
that's
is why
Sarah
the
gets that
solvency
wrong,
card
that's
says we internally streamline.
Let's talk about this card that says the plan would be perceived as a defense cut. Right after it says it would be perceived as a defense cut, it says the military would spin it that way, but still enjoy access to the functionalities that it provides. And then, even better, I missed this the last process, it says that space support currently represents a substantial portion of inflexible must-fund resource commitments that do not directly contribute to warfighting
It
operations.
has no relevance because it's about the perception of the defense cuts.
Nuclear defense cuts.
7.
Have you seen Kansas's portable?
Yeah.
They're the bomb.
The tanks that they
Yeah,
carry.
totally.
What
sick.
is it?
Yeah.
They have these beast briefcases that like turn in like awesome portable
Stand.
cables. Yeah.
It's like
Really?
It's like Power Rangers, basically.
Yeah,
Just
it's
turn
like
into giant
way-
metal.
They're way better than
It's like Transformers.
yeah, these are the worst.
Oh my god.
These gotta
But they're
go. We
like
gotta
they're
get the
metal,
Kansas
and the
briefcases.
surface area of them is enough that you can like.
I would say the main issue with them is it looks like you're carrying a suitcase, Duke.
Huh.
So it's like if you try to travel with it, you might get like peacemakered.
Yeah.
But compared to these, solid gold.
Okay, for sure.
All right, airspace power advantage, the weather advantage, smart power advantage, A-spec, T beyond, T increase,
I have to like keep scrolling down to figure out all this is, so it's gonna take me 1 second.
I just shrunk my scroll bar.
Oh, that's smart, I don't know how to do that.
Don't worry about me. I don't even really flow.
T beyond, T increase,
T-man, console Russia,
Wait, sorry. T beyond, T increase, T staffed,
console Russia,
so
the advantage counter plan, defense cuts, politics, and weapons.
well, I've got it, just like moving.
Okay, tell me when
Let
you're
me show you how
ready.
to shrink the scroll bar so
I
you can see all
kind
the
of do,
text.
because otherwise I'm gonna be totally hosed if somebody jumps around.
You know,
Oh, smart. Perfect, thank you. I appreciate that.
What was the advantage?
Aerospace, space, weather, smart power.
hold on, let me get my actual mouse. This is pro.
Alright, is everyone good? Cool. Even if air power sustainable aerospace power is incorporating an integrated space and air warfare capabilities to middle air power self defense defense cruise missiles that's been pouring China World War III fastest air station causes their drones and international public roads and public self impact outweighs the impact to the distant weather effect agriculture causes station loss from multiple organizations will self the impact of economy and ways to Cisco is also not self facilitated safety to disseminate the data shared with other parties as well as protect the current satellites we have a space that is conceded institution air support power cyber care any constitution because of escalation only never command control China Russia are no being currently now the smart power does not solve the status quo military SSA the pursuit of monopoly of overall legitimacy status is the broad efforts not explained leaving space guard increase as second interpretation 3 years to defend the USG with 3 branches for the purpose of this take out sovereignty of space guard is what our sovereignty activists is agent campus of voting training because most want to see and based on the discussion development agency the ways to be cabinet discussion by way of the core report officer resolution not top quality beyond the civil essays and satellites and geo that's 22,000 miles above the atmosphere and direction forward and ACS Olympias are being placed near satellites and geo over the same for global expanded design to orbit and space essay and a substantial increase to special news and 820 special events and license center potential increase in SA exploration includes ground space about activities lesser 9 exploration will determine multiple personal explorers may inform us audio decisions to do globally is not particularly relevant discussion that occurs in new agencies who cost 9 the running cost of the minus space exploration criminals or space development new agencies to explore partnership to increase those minus space development the key to limit something for space while pursuing after action in space and recent results of impact determination for the race of bottom also switch over from judgment as contribution like this supplement applies ever the top of the area violation not increase we mean the plan minus the use of part of space function management use space guard is was function not previously called as space is irresponsible for the agency for non-military SA and the important SA cooperative efforts simply because no civil SA now as military SA as limitation on our presence and importance of the capacity requirement for SA for civil persons globally raise substantial and increase makes greater increase SA be 11 way cutter in size and impact price to become more critical ground from more SSA and ways of conditional federal IOC for component space allowances process of the space guard, and SA enables vertical position making skills and international proper turn plus of most accurate ways. Their division of all space decision making, which is critical space policy now. Man, you means the scope for space production, and SA space monitoring space well USC chapter 135. The Center for Some Development Programs to carry out the development matters of space in the U.S. Congress of Federal space awareness and basic production development support stable affordable access to space and physical and NASA support strategy for such science technology exploration development to life and based on circumstances and environmental technology exploration development space human rights space and rights to life for life commercial development. That says the app as field 9 rights to sports satellites is the protect operation and actual civil status and the interpretation limits is the stories limits marker 11 has been cast commercial access development fleet NASA with horsepower development commercial access and that always potential fertile accuracy was combined with predictable interpretation with space development includes and NASA plus numbers with on plus everyone names by understanding which is called the accuracy skills knowing how to informational check and reviews also now consult Russia. Permanent wealth and permanent planning council of Russia will consult over Kyrgyzstan was used and useful consultation with Russia over the situation Kyrgyzstan private citizen use position colony announced in difference with consulting with Russian colleagues and research department. They have no reason why I did consulting with the plan issue nuclear key anyway was a voting issue because Musi wanted more seen discussing the question over consultation issue will apply to every topic not about the space policy which core Russia's permanent account plan develop as a process I'll read it that's in the 1 hour and result in the lack of weapons there's certainty Mark Stern not resolved is consult deliberate and turn reinsurgency to Russia as a reason surgeons cause terrorist national the World Cup, we're in the Caucasus Library, and the Turkish Center of International Consequences with the European permanent term application for Turkey, with a chaotic Russian table of little and security Caucasus and crazy Russian national state in Turkey, would be a sort of Russian for no rename for deterrence, and the Caucasus Caucasus with conscious work in Ankara, and that causes global economy to the media returns, the politics of this said, the impact on the politics as a Cohen, and United States comes to Russian transition to economy, would include the Russian master destruction of slides, would include Afghanistan increase global revenues, will develop market economy tells the Tesco, now solve the because Russia does not want so pursue the Air Force controlling SSL, only the plans prerequisite, which solves the disposition of voting issue we want to see and enforcement forces other claims with force permutation ways of lunching conditionality which hurts as well as me inputted on this one now the next kind of permutation of the planet and plank 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9 I'll insert the text of the permutation doesn't solve the airspace that's tripped by the next paragraph of the card and one creation spacecraft with the Air Force was existing Air Force base installation spacecraft would not eliminate the competition for resources between airspace existing and elevated concerns of Air Force separation and the planet is not a space where their evidence is talking about land in their article and newspaper animated Space Force would be not the principal staff of the military joint chiefs as one program acquisition also permutation to and it moves the duty funds all necessary priorities means the dignity oversight is uniquely high doesn't solve and it doesn't solve South Africa's military SSA still perceived as first overall cooperation they cut their card Lambeth cut out of their context the assistant SecDef provides civilian oversight over the current secret budget responsibility several operation and has nothing to do with SA tracking space I'll insert this chart in the record debate not permutation to the planet not for the space rolling with it not dissolves about it doesn't remove civil responsibility of the Air Force and NASA caused by SA evidence is compared to this question Bennett and 11 analysis proposals relating to motor space activities called for creation of space where the related to the Air Force and other proposals related space activities when based on the model of space card with modeling before the Air Force NASA and FAA government activities including many and appropriate Air Force and NASA performance any functions burden would be responsible to not carry the most cost-effective way and most priority resource personnel intention does have cooperation China 922 because SA training administrative military and administration as I'm telling you accurate on clear data with Google and media constant down access to data with partners concerned about relevant program military and no one can down credibility information to program also doesn't see increase the LSTMs because the civil space services are still our only airspace able to solve they need to increase defenses and not and be the it's not going to be the airspace technology condition of the voting issues between starting with scenario and tactics which is argued about one condition outside all their also listen up benefit because you don't have to card on the sides ensure the data has some public intelligence and diverse from airspace also civil space service causing NASA oversight Washington Post 11 and emphasize NASA device launch from pattern correlation and limited resources the parts of real sense of memory each making this and advice cuts and NASA will have trade-offs for the funding for management now go to the defense customer set. Though no link can turn medicines duty or represent the planet's defense caterpillar Congress civil space functions or move away from the duty to the space power through the duty's budget would be replenished by modernization airspace power solves the impacts of McKinley. There's no internal link. Their ambush space of the cuts themselves, not the perception of the cuts. Their 2 NC card goes that budget cuts are inevitable. Only the freeing the Air Force from non-priorities for solves as having 96 or 2 NC card for some time. The budget depends on mid pressures. It didn't give a favorite targets is the purpose of the wall. As the competition for resources are supporting the terrorists taking large system now. The peril taxes don't solve the economy peril and helps us cameras budget so how ordinary would be funded and want to pay to tax by rocks are rich, by 20% spent on the rate tax mulch rate, by income taxes that will rise, or the imposing higher rates because massive tax high will want to grow the dividend of a lot disengages with multiple political fights motion posts, and one of my bonus is multiple landmines living Philippines, or associated coastone would be a Muslim healthcare just as on plus one best one for the gateway education, reason pass the plan and pass the payroll tax not and Boehner will block it, all Street paid in 1-2. No matter what the state policy of our Republicans are perceived, they don't have to make the sounds of rhetoric to be damaged by a cause not a deal. And he'll February 28th, there's a personal Democrats and administration. Anything he wants to be our Vader wants to kudos. All of the related fights will take the hub as an extension by investing in offices and by spending cuts to cost less of the White House cannot stand. The Congress Committee decided not only cost cuts estimates. The Secretary says winners win year 9. Obama says ability to critical capital club is finance. But he can regenerate one good deal with Obama president push for anything Republicans will compromise by campaigning in 1223. The Special Conference Committee for us not going to allow Republicans of course, but forcing both the time take away from the administration of the Republicans on the same way Federalist monologue. Republicans who compromise what? Econ collapse doesn't cause war. Things like independent cells and plan cells by kind of contingencies. They also by Congress by the creation of space guard with international interest in force, personality, small, intelligent, local, and they can deal with difference in politics. These institutions help sway members of Congress and weapons. Uniquely international responsible heading strategy for the U.S. by Air Force Doctrine SSA Consesco is perceived as space weaponization, crap on the wall, and 11 successfully emulated with increased risk of serious space adversary plus the U.S. increase of SSA. The heading strategy was aligned with the doctrine prior to Air Force contemplated doctrine. The heading strategy was perceived as de-weaponization space 100% of the U.S. space cover, but the plan south east works to raise concern for business issues related to repacking and mitigation usually for international cooperation playing the space traffic tools on their requirement, securing our space members. There was a space recovery. Here's more evidence in improvements in arms race, 5. The independent space will allow planning for the future race of space traffic, the space of David fears, along with the military intent to lower the risk of dangerous armed places, space, we see what's going on. International cooperation and security space, but other safety, national space cooperation, and the plan cells, multiple levels of penalty, and love these plus protection to dominate which behavior made and others and penalty, as national and national policy, multiple space, command, possible uncertainties, while the Bush and order military implementing action Chinese data test was stopped at test ad on Huntley. I can jump in this.
Are they taking the prep?
Yeah,
Alright, 621.
First, let me talk to this.
I can't read it, sorry. Just walk around.
I have a bunch of clarification questions.
Okay.
Okay, first, about consult. All the permutations that you made.
The permutations on consult.
One second. Flow. Okay,
Perm do both.
okay.
Perm do plan and consult Russia.
On what?
Consult Russia. I read a piece of evidence that says we'll consult over Kyrgyzstan, and then perm do have one.
Okay, permuting planning plus consult. We consulted with Kyrgyzstan?
Yep.
Is that a permutation or just?
Yeah, we have a
Kyrgyzstan is not in the permutation tax.
No, but we read a piece of evidence that says we'll consult over Kyrgyzstan.
Okay, and then,
Perm do have.
and that's it?
Yep. On that.
So this Cohen card says Russia resurgence tanks the global economy leads to WMD use. Where do you think this card says global economy?
It says that Russians transition to a market economy would have conflicts escalate, and that would have oil revenues would mean that all market
What does it
economies
say
increase.
conflicts escalate?
What? Well, the conflict escalates. Conflicts may escalate include weapons of mass destruction. That's that line. Then the last line indicates that oil revenues from Russia would probably spill over to
Which
other market
conflicts is it
economies.
referencing?
What?
Which conflicts is this card referencing?
It's Russian using WMD use. It doesn't specify conflict. I guess we can make
Okay.
it. Well, yeah, it does say Europe, Middle East, it was the Persian
Okay,
Gulf.
what's
That's
the
context.
impact to Turkish nationalism?
I don't read an impact to Turkish nationalism.
Okay, so why is this card relevant to the debate?
What?
Why is
That's an internal link.
it's an
The
internal
war of
link
the
to-
Caucasus and the Russian reinsurgence is the internal link to the Cohen argument, which is about WMD use in global economy.
Okay, your 1AC, China has cyber warfare capabilities now. This is from like 2 years ago. Why
From
has it-
2010.
Yeah, 2
Yeah.
years ago. Why hasn't it happened in the interim?
What?
Why have they not used that?
China and
capability?
Russia are developing technologies now.
The card says they have the capability. They
Right.
have offensive virus capabilities, and it's from.
Cyber attack,
Yeah.
Yeah.
cyber attack.
Well, yeah, for a cyber attack, exactly. And if it is true that they will use them to counterbalance the United States, why is it not happening?
Well, it's not trying to counterbalance the United States. They're trying to use it to gain first regional hegemony as well
For
as
whatever the reason is
infrastructure.
that they want to use it, why has it not happened?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so when will it happen?
I don't know. I guess that's a question of impact calculus, which will probably argue before your impact. But the card
Based
says
on
that
what
the risk is
evidence?
high because China and Russia have the
The
technology.
risk was high
in order
then,
to attack.
and it has not been triggered since, right?
They said they're investing in new viruses that would be.
They have attacked. They haven't had the scale of attack that's big enough to cause their impacts. The Harvard average does have a predictive function. It could.
7?
We took some at the start of this.
Oh,
So it's like
yeah,
6
yeah.
something.
It was 640.
I took that in half. Thank you.
I didn't know what the number was, I just knew that it was like some.
Yeah, no, they only took like 10 seconds. I took that from the wrong team, so I'll fix that.
What were the reasons consultant that is education and what? Reasons consultant.
Relevant accuracy skills, it was when it's fairness.
And it should, especially for like space also, and something that we apply every year.
After you read the
Just
Rush,
taking the year off, coaching with Emory and
I think you
Pace.
were saying something like status
Just
quo.
relax.
solve
It's
that.
nice. I was burnt out in school.
They'll say no because right now it's military necessarily who's
You plan on going to grad school
Russian.
eventually?
I
No, it was
think
intern
I've gone to
politics.
law school at UGA next year.
It was externs in politics at that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what county rising, intern in politics.
Looking forward to it, actually.
So it turns policies and city.
Law schools,
And then just-
many debaters.
Yeah. And there
It
were no-
does.
I think so.
I was planning on doing something kind of similar to my AF last year. So just like domestic violence and immigration law.
Seems like not the worst thing.
No, I actually found researching that very, very interesting.
I mean, if you're into justice, fighting patriarchy.
Just loud, really quickly, what are the reasons you said Congress was bad? What was the whole JC as a Congress?
Advocacy skills, based on tactics and possible accuracy predictions, on accuracy solves.
You all the dissertation?
Sounds about right.
Impossible.
Yes.
So,
Predictions of impossible frameworks and worlds.
Okay, sure. Done.
All right, 411.
Alright. Alright. Orders can be the politics to set, the advantage current plan. No problem.
And you anticipate being done?
It's possible to allow this end in May.
Yeah,
Highly probable, but I'll defer.
then T's beyond and T, no, T staff and T beyond.
It's not bad.
Be a lot worse.
T staff to T what?
Beyond.
Politics, kind of plan, T, human, T,
Yeah.
beyond.
Yep. I just make sure I see it.
That's right, I want to sit here.
Okay. There's two twin C variables in here that are the same thing.
I'm counting.
Yeah, I've really screwed people over. Okay, just tell me you guys have it.
So it's Tracy, what, sprinkle,
It's both at the same time.
Good.
Alright, sound good. Should I say comp plan then? Politics, and comp plan.
Politics.
Okay. Yes. Alright. Policy's not going to this, we said the comp
conflict to we know would be the winner, reaches to possibly the leader, so becoming impact defense, we can see that there's no impact of returns, so Russia flow now going to the counter be not going for good, that's a good verse, they can see that the disposition, that's all, they can see our disposition, that means they can stick us, means it forces us to have good advocacy sales, or at least prepare for those advocacy sales in the future, because we know we could be stuck in the future. Consult companies this month, they try to permute it, which means it's a strategic choice now, but each of the win in this same thing counter to, I tradition was in one favorite good, as long as they don't contradict, we still have the same advocacy as those lobbies, these are the two will still have to have one advocacy, they can't cross by arguments, they're not contradictory, as long as they're not contradictory, then it should be good. In-round flexibility is keeping us over a choice, you can always stand, and have a late developing debate that destroys, and possibly, in-round flexibility means that they will always also get a better form of education, because we test after multiple samples, as possible, because we remove frameworks, that's the reason, case not the reason why our council we're not moving in because of the ethics, always improve the ethics good idea, you should you said that there's an error, that there's an X side, there's an F side, there's an F side bias, and that's how it means the first last speech means impossible, and also permutation, and other things check the possibilities for the T-step. Our interpretation is how more from must include direct human presence, that's better than more living interpretation. Ace of point is education, their interpretation, disincentivized the reading around preparation is in the world. Their interpretation means it's impossible for us to have pretty much strategy to unlimited topic means you don't research in the first place. Every reason they think consult plans are bad, or reason we internally check plans that means only go for consult companies in the world. Why? That we don't hit. Also, we get the depth of education, the depth of when you prepare students for success. SD, the outside person, if you were powerful studying, then depth of patience, so time on month, set one major topic, great breadth of education, now through reading the newspaper, don't definitely actually apply outside around, but it'll be disappointing to spend it's impossible for your people to impossible research programs, and research programs, and the app will be ahead of research because there's a round of apps, the app can research the app, they can't do it, but also sees the point, it kills 18 inches less of the world, 84 declining things, project, broad time, the fact that the effective limiting parties, they broad top destroyed, they broad time, terrified, theater, unable to with the red broad top, security experience, theaters, the appropriate post MCs function, potential views, is motivation, pulse quantum views, this round, and means to claim yourself, means to claim about anything about it. It's also right now they have a few arguments for that we mean the USA. It's not a we mean for our. It's not a we mean for our argument. It's about we mean for another confirmation, which they have not. They have not claimed for him. They cannot have because there's no predictably. Now they're going to make it predictably standard. There's no reason. There's no substance for predictably. Predictably is inherently arbitrary because there's different perspectives. You're an academic. You're a policymaker. You're anyone. But you should look at the most living interpretation. Predictably is arbitrary. And we would also access this information because we have a science writer, a kernel in the field. And this is USFG interpretation between internal and internal. And these are arguments or reasons why that's good. Not the contradiction to me. There must be a stat project in space. Their interpretation done. Their interpretation is that it has to be affordable access to space. This is not what an app has to do. It's just what their object has to do, which means that any app becomes comfortable in their interpretation because there's no limiting function. If they can just try to have affordable access to space, and it's enough to be topical or else salty proves they're not probable, which makes no sense. Their development interpretation be about what the actual activities and not what its goal or end result should be. Even if it was like fluent salty, that proves that the app doesn't do there. Also, the unlimited topic means that anything can claim the goal of doing it, but also there also be more limited topic under interpretation. I'll give a case of right now that's sufficient to be able to solve the last Mars, which we just broke last time, Gaia, which we also have less other firms like Orbital Depot, which take Mars, lunar binding, which Hermes, where they can't also involves military assets solving with their international complex also the app round because sustained which I found a great read for the international complex doesn't always solve also SPS app, which obviously was Hopeflow and Carrollton all means that there's a unique ground, which means there's no ground to set because we have at least enough ground for them to be able to win. Now they say that they say it destroys the piece of it. We did not say it has to be commercial, just as a human development reason. No, they say the federal support definition yet again it's nearly arbitrary. You cross by that from above. Now I'm just going to do the reasonability to make here reasonably possible to determine reasons. They're not reasonable first of all because we risk of the limits said it proves it's unfair to include their interpretation. It's unfair to include their interpretation. Also, the judge decide what he or she thinks is reasonable, which destroys possibly the debaters during the debate. Now, also, it's filling the rest of the stone. 20 what is reasonable depends on a variety of consideration. The less internal uncertainty value that reasonable needs to guard is respect the less its own range and view and public policy needs to use possible determine what it is. Last time they crossed my contribution to I'll just answer that here. That's unbelievable too because they know part of the definition why the church is also all their after says no apply because this is terrible. Beyond. Our limits said just applies just as well as will improve, and then it has to be beyond the sphere. Then there's a limit to limits that said because they allow anything that is below the sphere because anything tangibly related to space becomes topical in their interpretation crossed by the limits impact. Then they go straight to the line. First they say GOS, as they say like geo, yes you can write that just makes you actually have a lot topical itself because you create space.
you create a space guard extratropical is bad because it allows them to create unpredictable advantages not based off the planet or based off of the research. What research was actually before the linked to the possible to prepare for these other things. Yes, they put SSA, but they also create a space guard right now. We're going to get, and now we're just going to preempt into their BS argument. The plan text mandates is creation argument to the contrary is BS. The space guard currently does not exist. The plan requires that it exists actually solve. They say that space guard SSA. The only way to do that is by creating a space guard first. So they have to create an agency before making the SSA. They're going to say that's a type of technology. No, that's creating an agency. The fact that it's not an effect versus mandate. It is enacting the plan because the space guard SSA. Now they say it's substantial. There's no impact. There's no immediate. If it's a substantial increase in SSA, that doesn't mean the space guard is substantial. We're not making a substantial argument. They say ground and base. First, this court says that it has to be grounded and based on telescopes or other thing like that, which means they don't meet this interpretation of the topic because their argument just makes space guard. The difference between this and other affirmatives is that this infrastructure, this is what they make is different and that can be used for other purposes besides space capabilities, which means it's inherently arbitrary. They're going to make arguments about why SPS is the infrastructure. That is wrong because SPS infrastructure is directly related for them to make the SPS. The space guard is not intrinsic for them making SSA capabilities, which is worse, it's a over-specification argument, which is independent of issue because the choice our ability is not grounded in evidence and they don't have a solid skeptical plan. It means it's possible to predict and it's possible for us actually doing the process. If they try to crossify this for TQ, that is not interpretation. Our interpretation is about how it must be a staff project in space. That's where the middle and evidence indicates, which means they don't need this interpretation. They don't need this as a proven our interpretation because it actually has to go in space. Now they say there have been new agencies created. That does not justify your their evidence indicates that yes, one time there was a new agency created for a development project. That does not mean that a new agency is actually development. In this process means that it's impossible to be able to impossible to raise their act. It's also a distinction between the should and not should and could evidence or has to evidence because this evidence indicates it could and it did, but not that it's intrinsic to making a space guard. It means that they don't have the advantages predicated off of it for it making a space guard. I'm just going to see it right. Hurwitz, if you want me to read everything, I can do that.
You can explain that.
Okay, sure. Consult. Consult. They consider net benefit. Our net benefit indicates that consulting would be able to spell over to NATO, or NATO-Russian cooperation be able to solve terrorism in the future. That's considered impacting in that ways. In terms of the case person, the guaranteed U.S.-Russian war, which means they're not going to cooperate in space or do anything if they're in war with each other. Or linking the terrorism bomb in one of these countries means we're immediately going to retaliate into another country, which probably turns the evidence. Don't form cooperation. Also means our airspace powers probably destroyed because our infrastructure will probably be destroyed by the initial nuclear attack. They can see this means the 100% risk of extinction. Now, the Captain solves the case already results of the app also reinvigorates the NRC, which solves the aviation's key stop of U.S.-Russian nuclear war. That's Allison Evans, not always. And it only says in that that's well shared to nuclear army and allied species. Russia to attain large arsenal of computational exchange and such to not be destroyed all humankind. Also, our evidence makes this first, we solve two things. We solve both U.S.-Russian relations and NATO-Russian relations. They have not contested either one of these, which means one of ours should not be able to contest them.
So let's look at your case list. So you have like colonization, mining, but you also have things like SPS and satellites. How do they have humans to go into space
we have a
or
card.
satellite?
Okay, so we have a card if you really want this.
Are the humans directly in space?
Yes.
Okay, I need to get that.
Okay, I will give it to you.
Okay,
Just
second
read
of
it
all,
in the webinar.
what piece of evidence in that, what apps in that case list cannot have U.S. key warrants?
What?
What apps in that case list have U.S. key warrants? It seems like international or private
SPS
compounds.
sustain all of them.
Why can't private compounds solve that?
Wait, that's a different argument. International compound, private compounds. First of all, wait, I don't
Probably
understand why
solve
they would solve
They're
that.
probably solving like
Wait,
reasons.
why? Why could a private investment industry
Right.
make a military in space? Like, why could they
No,
put?
SPS.
Wait, SPS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things like
SPS.
GPS
I don't know
technologies.
one team that has ever lost to the privatization.
Launch.
plan.
How does launch infrastructure? Can launch infrastructure send humans, or can it send just like technology also? Like,
What?
does launch infrastructure include humans into space? It seems like that's just like the
No, the infrastructure itself is not. That's just an area of F I tagged, I guess. But
So
it's not,
your
it's not the
interpretation just
infrastructure
says
itself.
that we need staffed projects,
Yes,
right?
in space.
In space.
In space.
Okay.
Staff projects in space. Having humans develop it is different.
What was the argument that you made about the consult compounds internally?
So in a world that there's unlimited apps, it means we devolve to consult compounds, other things, because it's impossible to research all the apps. That internally turns to education, because all the reasons you say consult compounds and read are reasons we move the app education.
Okay, that's fine. Your 1 and C evidence are from professors of history, so I'm confused what piece of evidence you're citing as a kernel in the
which one?
military.
Maybe that's a middle evidence, and that's at all. That's maybe one person that actually does have people pretty relevant to the
No,
field. PhDs in
professors.
astrology. The cards look pretty good and pretty qualified, so but you're just not looking at that. So
What?
I do you want me to read all the
Yeah.
qualifications?
Yeah.
Talk about his PhD in astrology.
Okay, let's see. Mendel, Professor of History, Engineering, Manufacturing, Professor of Aeronautics and Astronautics, Director of this program in Science, Technology,
Okay,
and
so
Society in MIT.
your Livingston evidence
That's
says that
one
it has
person.
to
I
be
keep going.
the Livingston evidence says it has to be manned commercial projects.
No.
So right.
Oh,
which-
Livingston.
And you've like strategically unhighlighted and made it really, really small, the word commercial. It seems like things
Sure.
like private counterplans would be justified as at
Okay,
perhaps.
sure, you are right. This card says commercial. That is not our interpretation.
Wait, so
So you're not
like-
defending the piece of evidence you have.
Our
And that's more
evidence-
predictable than only our half is
Because-
possible?
Wait, yes, because commercial, I don't know what commercial honestly means. It doesn't mean private, it just means
Well,
commercial.
your
Since
2
we have
evidence
no
also-
development now, because none of it is commercial.
No, that's not.
Well, your
what it
2
says.
evidence
Oh,
also
no,
says
no, no.
it's commercial as well. So
What?
you have to defend commercial.
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's fine. Okay, let's talk about TBeyond. Your impacts about being below the mesosphere, the plan only creates a technology and puts it into space. Which evidence do you have that says that mandating a type of technology will result
So,
in the program as per plan
I
mandated?
preempted a lot of these arguments. It's about Space Guard SSA. All right, Space Guard SSA, that's what your plan tag said. What is Space Guard? It does not exist now.
But it
or
functions
to
as an
exist.
adjective modifying a technology. Okay,
No,
what
it's
do you
not.
think?
Space Guard is not a technology.
Okay.
It's an agency.
You stopped it.
I just wrote that card.
You read, what is
That's,
that?
yeah. No, first one.
Okay.
Alright, you're 4 now.
Oh, which one is it on? Here?
It should be the one I was saying.
Yeah, the history for all. Oh, my bad. Okay.
There's only like 2 documents.
I think that one did not have this. One in our file.
Consult and possibly T, which one? T human.
T human?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
It's rare that it's it.
Alright, everyone's ready? Revival of the process of getting into Russian corporation are certain evidence indicates that multiple restrictions of majority of ethics increments both implementation must be one action sequencing, just by select implementation restraints often by the shifting time of implementation, also no unique sequence reaction that means an A7 severs out the immediacy and immediate nature of the planet, possible to the planet, doing one action crossfly, I will make an argument about this later seconds, it doesn't solve prior, this week has to be US, this will improve the quality of consultation record, and Russia can consult advanced naturally, and Russian division of mythology, and evaluation made to first cost 100, and also Russia, this means one also for Russia takes into account, organization means that, this before Russia came to Russia, seriously, and worse than severs out the immediacy of the planet, as a time for a moment, which is intrinsic just by standing by, now places solve this as ill, ground by context and say with that, also permutations are funny, you deal starting with that they, you get one theoretical issue of permutation, this is best day, all by time, that's right, you respond to 20 second time trade off, and versus just 3 time, only difference to variables to trust, whereas effective strategy curve, they say curve to the planet is all first, they're in a double line, either A, they got, consults over the planet, is not generally skills, waste instead, or second, it consults over another issue, which is intrinsic sense, it kind of only consults over the planet, intrinsic is bad, plus to add any, opening plans to spike out of, and then you go off base, second, this vagueness, direct permutation, is not, specified what it consults on, this makes it impossible to answer the negative, if you take a certain interpretation, next day, consult over nothing, which does not solve that benefit, even if they're read evidence, that's something Russia wants to be consulted over first, it will not be genuine consultation without specified permutation, second, it is still intrinsic, because consult on something else, if the mandate of the permutation is to consult on something that's not in the planet, the kind of that is obviously intrinsic, and that's obviously intrinsic, so I can tell contracts are good interpretations, they must have a solvency if it's germane to the topics that's implemented, and that gives them ground-based literature, if literature is not important, the counter-interpretation only consult, Russia's legitimate aspects versus education, is what is topic education, Russia, consultation is important in the literature space cooperation, and Russia's method for second is international education, key to engagement with global affairs, and also that, according to the question, which that's how Americans broke up the globalization, is trying to building closer race and challenges, multi-level cooperation, is planning to rural affairs, and investment, that's taking global policy, multi-level requires it, this is this one is been preoccupied with roles and little from third, useful national interest, the relevant debate today is over the base of different frameworks, we need to reach out today to the public and help inform about the intersection between the past and international affairs about the U.S. government should engage in key to education, resolve Russian relations, code, 6 and failure of the international international relationship, implementing by since the 17th track of authority, but I was restricted on challenge, University of Los Angeles position, the leadership, the new Cold War policies become axiom, many restrictions are far more true than should be, also policy, see someone's process education, process education, key to policy, making sure connecting up and the devil, I got the devil on the details of policy, make first order effects of policy to listen with policy to fill, it's not because numbers, do not really vision how the detail well, implementation would conform as first, and education first, base thrives, participating strategies, education is the only factor that can affect real world decisions. Second is fairness, first time to defend the immediacy and certainty of the political state destroy, time sensitive or time specific dictator, also keeping that flexibility, keep decency after multiple angles, check back, small to ground, lieutenant, third is defense error, negative, then prep the speed first and lesson, these topics is also legionary, so from number second is R not team essential use is not second is reject the argument, fourth is reason or they say topic education first is we access this, that was above second is no offense rejecting consult does not mean we do case specific strategies, there is the T and then the K as well, second and third is our education, only topic education is only relevant for 1 year policy process applies to every single topic to real world Scott, professors between New South Bay, their courses are solve example, range is top self suspect, they say we seal the F versus literature checks, that was above, they have ground like consult bad, say no relation to bad, there's resolution of ground test resolved and should be said often, second is it only proves that consult is strategic, they exclude every advantage conflict does, it minimizes staff officer limits and all conflicts in any action again, potential result of feels like in front of us, there's obviously no risk of the act feels discount because people think we should consult Congress status as solvency after said, remember before they say come to the conflict, this is severance for the turn, say read this again after comes moving turn plus this back out of offense, ace point is functionally they take immediate certain action, conflict is not the line, it's either non-topical because it can be amended or vetoed, which destroys all the ground counterline is or the counterline is impediment resolved means fixed to purpose as a quote from Webster's, that's a general when I should be to must be immediate time before a context mandated should is more than 18 consider application will mean must be more than 18 is laws of following in the future math best, it's a legal definition of US US policy. Simulation means it's most predictably all arguments are impossible to we cannot prepare based on what is actually the line says should, which implies a definite adoption. We say will. Second is functional competition best keeping negative ground. They eliminate the power plans and disprove the applicant ban the plan. Also eliminate topic specific and once in here is one paper for constellation here, sequel paper versus disaster or the micro paper for SES is the key to education and fairness. Third, finally, sexual competition is bad. They can always change words to make the counterline compatible. Also, encourages stuff to work with being if possible. Also, any reason this counterline is good as research describe permutation principle ways to consult counterlines. The researchers thing, obviously no impact that was made clear in cross-sects, the only impact is economy conceded, econ impact defense doesn't matter, Caucasian war is conceded by the conceded terrorism advantage, there's no risk, no impact, or never read. When I see cross-sects gave us the say yes argument, say other countries want us to do the plan, so
just the keep this as the claim that they linked to the
okay, the consult also does the plan, so it links to weaponization, or so it solves the link turns to weaponization, because it creates a space guard, they say yes. It also links to, it also solves the defense cuts arguments because it does the plan, exactly. So if they link, count does, if they won't link turn, count accesses it.
Yeah, also just all the other count theory would be argument team.
All the other count theories would reject the argument, not the team. Russia's contributing would say yes, say R, say, and say Russian decision to SSA program side, just by Russia, the intervention gets the second by just policies in line with Russian foreign policy. And which one?
That one.
Both sides are ready for compromise. Russia gives our compromise to the financial
Alright, you have 631.
Corrected, I was using
601. What? Yeah.
we did not use 601. There you go.
One AR, 1 8 bizarre.
Is it 1 AR, 1 8 bizarre, 1 8 mile, or?
Yeah.
The one with wild, yeah.
It's on loud.
Okay, after you guys are done.
Let's do the. Okay, we're gonna do T man, T beyond, A spec, and then the politics cassette, the advantage counter plan,
and consult Russia.
Can you say that one more time? Sorry.
It is going to be T-Man, T-Beyond, A-Spec, Politics, Advantage Counter Plan, Consult Russia. Okay. I'm also answering like his big limits overview on T-Man at the very top, instead of like on the standard submitted to state. Shouldn't make much of a difference. But that's what's happening. You guys good?
Can you wait? Actually, we need.
You can.
Is this yours? Yeah. All right. Do you need to change it? Okay.
Wherever you want to go. His computer is flat. Like, just don't have to go. Okay. You guys good now? Cool. Depth of education won't happen in the mid anyways. It's too fast to shoot me off. It's also encouraged strategy instead of do some depths. It's inevitable from research anyways. Will it doesn't assume the wiki or the internet is from the 80s. That means it obviously doesn't make sense. It's copies. They've also conceded functional limits even if somehow achieved out. They conceded things like internet academic engineers. All chat. Again, the other side is that even if it is functionally being copied, the no main back to because it will always win all those records. Don't make sense of functional fairness or you know, anyways. Not the big way that we would say Lucy violations consider its argument to live. Is the divine development has made commercial project that unlimited topic means anything like low hierarchies, any incentive makes encourage private sector. All topic also not to multiply them, but the number of factors that allow infinitely more assets to go to any planet. Well, life as any just says it's not our interpretation. If they don't have their interpretation based in definition, then it's obviously not predictable. With arguments that applies also a reason why or after top was a better interpretation because that's the say so a small topic and the only impact it has is limited, especially because it doesn't have a ground inside the planet. The U.S. code argument says the U.S. government defines SSA is topic that is the most predictable standard. Yes, this is not arbitrary because the resolution says the U.S. space exploration. That means that we should look at the U.S. defined space exploration only on this predictable there. They're living in evidence from a science or the government may not be found in the pre-architect months, even if they have a small topic we can predict and research that. Mental practices can determine back there because it won't be designed based off of it anyways. And also not every after they say that limit that becomes topical. Also, even if they've also considered its definition that says that you cannot be commercial and be topical because you're not inside a private sector because that's not the USFG's action. That means that there is literally no topical F on the topic. They limit all development as a reason alone why their interpretation is stupid and guys learn a lot on their topic because the commercial explanation that's here. Well, there's also terrible ground in the stats because NASA has no main explanation for it. That's why that means we're learning about anything relevant to her. And advocacy still next is a reason to vote in the fact that they read 4T arguments and aspect proofs that they have a resources that have encouraged trying to find one way in which it's not topical. They're just encouraged to go for top count because we can't impact that. They may unique advantage arbitrary. This is an ever because lots of high school debates suck at. The way is the only way to encourage debate about the topic, which is only internally to add those next T. The next is T beyond first our plan says space. That means your topic doesn't mandate anything issues, government resources, space action topic is not a voting issue, some action topic is inevitable. Everything has something happen on the ground. There's no bright line for what we cannot have happen on the ground. They also do not have definitive actuation that says that everything that raising more has to occur for the space of the actuation has to be physical. That's a space card directly facilitates space actuation beyond the mesosphere, even if it's on the ground. That's why it's topical and we don't have to create it. 99 is a result of the space card actuation. The evaluate the amount of satellite models for African population access to different needs to eventually operate in space and their impacts are not unique. Turns out the space situation when it's considered on the concept of requirements. That's why you consider dedicated here. There's only risks that specify in the space reviews and more big ground did more science encourage and better research saying that we have that we created is like saying that we have to specify the planet president or scientific because it's necessary doesn't mean we specify would be a natural result of the plan out of the planet and normal means that's our counterforce just says that we have to make it greater than there is no so wants to say in the stats quo which would be directly facilitated because we still explore beyond space even if that even if there's nothing physical beyond space he doesn't have a car saying that has to be physical there living state evidence doesn't say this and physically in space or agency evidence is actually phenomenal so the history so the accumulation can reach a new agency so the government gets a new field of setting next to the expect that contain agent kind of like our voting to specify our agent later that's good to do it to make literally impossible for them to reason both next to the politics just had an argument that interdependence checks the economic or there's no interdependence the Russian oil market class to no longer have a degree to trade with Russia that still causes that still causes for next advance they counter conditionality is bad they have different advocates they don't have to choose best advocates one that kills their advocacy so the only part of skill that we get outside of debate but go on at the top guy also causes death that's their partial and conditionality, which is what they justify their interpretation of the law, they justify an infinite amount. There's also no outside by that from some agnostic and a disposition so it doesn't call for the impossible like that. Worst two dispositional advocates instead of a conditional advocate. He's also conceded that one conditional advocate solves all their offense and gives them enough make flexibility to come before topicality because it for they'd be for somebody to defend that we're on topical next as he can sort Russia to pay for their net benefit. Then it's about controlling over BNB and cyber terror completely disabled the US military though. But they conceded the attack consultation doesn't access enough of internal link. Also Boston changes mind in 2007 said it wasn't that center and cyber terror still triggered via action along text. They have no specific evidence about this say yes argument we have say now and our evidence specifically says that the Chow weapons means that they do not trust systems that's going to make no legitimacy, which means that they would never be willing to cooperate for specific evidence over this person. They've also conceded that legitimacy solves literally all war, which means there is no name back, but it's also really reasonable solve Russian relation that the kind of first development is a process. Johnson to get the development about the name that they can convert it into program now, and we're extending for the plan of binding consultation. This is not intrinsic, literally text kind of control over prior arguments and reasons why by consultation has to be binding. We just don't control the plan. We don't specify that. Means we're literally doing the exact same thing the Cattle plan does involving sending diplomats to Russia. If anything, this mutation is inevitably going to solve better because it allows us to control over whatever Russia wants, i.e. things like NATO and BMD, which is what all of their evidence is talking about now. Or can the Cattle plan we should be able to define normal means of the plan, i.e. definitions like resolve element. We're all loose to the pick out of the paper. The plan is on the trees. We're not going to have to defend the direct implementation. The plan also involved with the process short circuit this because we immediately begin the plan and then that process can involve consultation with the Russia can result in these assets. It's also like they don't have a reason why it has to be binding over binding over something like space, which is all other evidence that it just has to be binding over things like BMD. They can win all their control goods offense. They don't have to solve the advocate for the Cattle plan that talks about space history. Why this doesn't matter in these stats quote next to me so access to Russian or visitors to market that was the answer to the blow. It's also a Caspian Caspian war, so in fact it still outweighs even if we don't access an economy of that, they also do it with collapses relations anyways.
409.
Perhaps. You eat what you want. Oh.
Well, I got to serve out of that. Or I guess I can put some of these.
Whatever you like.
That's yours. Be fooled by the box.
It was like Saturday. Oh, I hear it.
Guess they just have one box. Thank you so much.
Guess we're not making it on that.
It's your giant box.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Anybody want some garlic bread? Garlic bread, marinara. Go for it. There's an extra Dr. Pepper. You might want to Dr. Pepper.
Thank you so much.
It's going to be HVAC and condo install. Okay, HVAC. Install.
Just one more time, the order.
HVAC condo install. Okay, okay. Sure, he's Mr. Spice Country, Agent Company, but other reason we should move, maybe we didn't do occasion Company, he's the one in our argument, the one having heard say the president was not a good issue, we don't move, actual news around me, so you can see the bunch of theory arguments on the company, tweets and so on, some of the issue is in fact, the problem, we need to read the agent Company now, the condition of the first they can see the big flag, and we thinking of strategic plan, they're going to rely on one kind of solve, but it's linear, just said more complex, it's more, from our interpretation, that their interpretation which means to prefer it internally turns, their opposites can see that the neck becomes impossible, which we can't get efficacy skills, because the neck is always good in the first place, the app will just be able to advocate whatever they want, the neck will be able to lose every debate, because you don't have the debate, efficacy skills don't come from just proposing something that has a good debate about its neck, if you're after the way service to debate, then it becomes impossible, they say, portable skills will be internally turned, that means you can't get portable skills in the debate, never have to the first place, you can see the dispel, solve that neutrality, efficacy skills are because you can still, they have the choice to be able to stick us on it, but in the first place, which means we could have, forced we had to do the research to educate the first place, there is a, there's an accent bias on the public, safe person must be statistically proving the needs of the system and possible proof. They have not impacted efficacy skills, which means you superior to default net, you default to fair speed, that does one kind of world doesn't solve, it's a linear, which is to say that consult. I'm part of the bearer of crappy arguments, but allows you to answer crappy arguments on the consult when he's conceded the terms case analysis at the bottom of the concede terrorism not only becomes accidental nuclear, he's also conceded that impacted the biggest, the bottom becomes Russia, and China all lash out each other after retaliation. There's not these conceded super insurance case on these conceded that destroys any possible cooperation that's at the bottom of the concede is world of terrorism creates international tensions that no one is going to cooperate with each other because they're all retaliating against the country that directly. You explain to me how we cooperate with Russia or China, other countries, and any possibly in the case the world that we're nuking down, then it means the terms case also makes the aerospace sector and thirties infrastructure being destroyed by a terrorist attack. Both those arguments are conceded, and he has not identified what the plan without himself. He has not impacted or extended any of the specific scenarios we want to see. So don't let them to include two arguments. It's unpredictable to be able to not extend two arguments that he conceded. First, he's conceded that multiple terms are bad and should be voted. It should be voted for making it worse. This is a bash on economies. It's the same thing. Every reason why conditionality is bad is the reason why multiple reasonable permutations are bad because they create separate words back to debate in separate words. This is worse because he's actually going for multiple permutations back to think it's your more strategic roles. If they went kind of bad, you should vote them down on multiple permutations back. He's also conceded that vague permutations are bad for debate too because it's impossible for me to debate what I think is going to be first. A good example is for perm to do complan and consult. I don't know what that means because I don't know what consult would go over that. It's a link to being per pass. It means it's possible to be first. That's the reason we reject all the perms. It means he's probably going to be able to lose the debate, not to say yes debate. He just says our arguments in the context of BMD. First, roll only one piece of evidence. The other one says we are issuing them agreements on multiple things. But the only thing I need is the bottom of when I see cross legs. I ask why do great power nations want the civil SSA? The reason we ask our the law said that is because they don't want their degree to be hit. That was a yes argument for a force. They made it a force. Also, when BCSB's genuine constitution would be able to solve their argument about why they suspect things only is true. The status quo, the comp plan would be different. The comp plan would be proposing something different. Because making the not for the Boston impact. What they say no legitimacy. We solve any possible legitimacy. They don't solve our impacts. There's no reason legitimacy solves NATO-Russian cooperation, which is what our terrorism internally. Even if they solve U.S.-Russian relations, that's not what our impact is. I make the distinction. Also, if we don't have to say that, that's something we don't solve legitimacy. We still result in the time which means it solves any possible Another reason why consultation car plans are good for education, which is reason to disadd to both these permutations he's going to go for, because the permutation plan and consultant permutation car plan eliminate the possibility of just not consult argument. He conceded that it's key to Russian relations, which is a real world impact, that they impact at the top of the tiers, and he's also conceded it's key to international education. He's conceded both these arguments, which means you cannot vote on these arguments. He destroys any possibility of the permutation to the client and consultant should double line. If it consults over anything, if it consults over another issue, it's intrinsic. They surely mandate something, but if the effect of it is something else intrinsic, means it allows them to add unpredictable points and spike out of negative off case. But he's also specifically conceded the vagueness argument, which means you reject the permutation because I don't know what they're going to permutate the other side. Now the permutation is
Binding was in the perm test.
also binding what's in the perm test with another reason, either it's vague or they're trying to say clarification, or one of your clarifications is possible to be in the first place. Now the same permutation to the compound. Yes, he's right multiple parts, but he's conceded more in the should, the should part, which indicates that it has to be binding and meaning other things, which means they can win all the other reasons by development and other things that involve. That means we're competitive just off should and must be needed. His only examples, the pick out of paper. No, we would not legitimize the pick out of paper because that's not something that's mandated in the context. We have defined the words in the thing and said that's good. Now they concede a few reasons. The functional competition is the best. It's key net ground. They eliminate car plans and screws. They ask like ban the plan. Eliminates topics to the car like the Aries 1 pick. There's constellation that Aries, so you people pick. First asteroids. Those are good car plans. They're good. They say development's a process. That doesn't matter anything because it's still a process of the car, but still they still are separate unresolved and should, which means must, which is the reason why they separate. That's also textual competition. And he's conceded that they can always change words to make it complex, but also there's thousands of word pick. The only thing that is good for debate is functional competition because it gives good ground. They can get research against the company. They just have to do the research themselves.
601.
Sorry?
Paul, you have full battery.
Oh yeah, you can unplug me.
Okay. Thanks.
What?
The outlet is clearly not working that well. You can hear it. Oh, no. Alright, I got it for now.
totally tired of starting.
It's really very well done.
Yeah, it's quite good. I'm so happy right now. I can't believe I almost turned around.
That's one of them.
I haven't thought about it. I haven't thought about it for a while because I've been thinking about this other stuff. But I agree with that. There's not gonna
The whole, so many seasons. Which means if you don't know there was
yeah.
where else?
No, yeah, you're right. Well, this is my people read it like
Every single time except when I debate you.
That was scary.
What?
You have your back in your head more.
No, I'm just supposed to do.
Like every time you hope I get in your head.
No, I think you would. I know it.
Cool. Is everyone good?
I cannot believe the 2 hours job that Washington that was extended at the bottom of the 1 ER underneath permutation to the camp plan is hitting power to Russia as well as constant consulting Russia sees power to Russia that encourages Russian hardliners to take control of the Kremlin and the entirety of the government moves the hardliners are trying to create resurgence and take over things like agency and things like Turkmenistan, etc. and have more alliances. There's 2 implications. The alarming evidence is that they allow for the encourages double proliferation and giving double things like terrorists, etc. is the reason why terrorism is an external event that was considered. However, the Cohen evidence indicates that this would decimate relationship with U.S. and European allies. It probably implicates the entirety of NATO because that is a European and the United States ally. It probably turns relations against Russia. And was research probably takes over the European alliance and things over Europe. Europe and things like the Soviet Union will occur over again. The Cohen evidence impacts this and said that reinserts the sitting power of Russia over the negotiations. Probably would hurt relations even more. We're probably have a Mediterranean relation because they're claiming their territory. This was dropped in the 2 NR, and I do not know how they have recovered this. Even if they went to Trunsky's argument, this includes a magnitude internally because they have literally taken the land of the NATO and European allies, well, these U.S. allies. It means any risk of a Trunsky's argument is mitigated by the fact that they sitting power of Russia is worse. And there's a list of risk of defense against the Trunsky's argument as well as the impact level of where this is a conceded impact. Now, there's no risk of Trunsky's argument. The cyber terror argument, it's not about terrorism being said or not. Cyber terrorism, Russian cooperation, probably doesn't solve hardening our cyber argument, our infrastructure in the United States as well as does not solve legitimacy because Russian NATO cooperation would not solve the U.S. perception of soft power nor military state. Now, he is really messed up. Another reason why they will not lose the say no agreement was made throughout the debate. The Chow evidence as well as the Roberts when he says legitimacy because the military states perceived as bad and unreliable. The cooperation negotiations with other countries not going to occur. That means the two implications. Roberts evidence case that monopoly military states means that other countries don't want to cooperate with us in this house. Whether the counterplan would mandate the consultation takes prior before the plan will be enacted, which means the consultation process will not be successful if we have military assessment. Our evidence is decent on this question, and it is not addressed in the 2 hours. Probably means that you should have a really high threshold for what you're evaluating as negative. The Russian will say no to the status quo. The Russian will say no to the counterplan consultation, which means the plan is prerequisite. The stated plan is prerequisite. This also means that legitimacy is a disad to the counterplan. There is no answer why legitimacy is a disad because of course the negotiations will not be successful, and they will not say no. That means that the plan has 100% risk in extinction. Is a disad. This also proves that legitimacy is also never conflict extinction, which solves any risk. Even if we win legitimacy, that solves any risk of their impact escalation, because that is the only scenario for escalation, because we can have the never ending negotiations, and it's all no benefit now. The multiple permit argument, the bullshit. You should not decide finals MBA on a vague limiting extension in the 2 hours. The multiple permutations argument is not there. Just permutation does this competition, which probably solves all their arguments. It's not vague anyway. This permutation to the counterplan is not vague. Again, we have solvency MBA. This is finding what the next permutation is. All the console argument, the console good arguments are not offensive, they're just reasons. It just begs the question why console counterplans are good in the abstract. Not whether they're competitive or not. The permutation test, whether they're competitive or not, is a prior question. Just as any of the education claims why international education is good, because it's not even intrinsic to why consultation is good. Now, permutation, do the planning consult Russia. He has not extended why binding consultation is good in the 2 hours. Means there's not a reason why there's a distant permutation will consult over Kyrgyzstan, which probably is not vague, because all their evidence why consultation in the abstract is good, not reason why consulting over space policy. Consulting over the plan is uniquely good. It probably proves it's also not bad, because all their arguments why consulting is good is why Russia wants something from Russia, wants to engage in cooperation, Russia wants to engage in discussion with the US over issues it has, which probably says the permutation will resolve that internally, because it's still the permutation will probably resolve internally, because all their reason why consulting over Kyrgyzstan is good is the reason why all the results are probably internally then a benefit. What?
It doesn't mandate anything.
Also, this is not intrinsic. The permutation is the plan and then consults Russia. That is all of the plan and part of the counterplan. There's no reason why it's intrinsic, because we do not mandate Kyrgyzstan. That would be normal means evidence for how the permutation would function. That is the US News evidence. Now, permutation to the counterplan is another reason why you should vote affirmative. None other functional textual competition arguments or reasons why this is a dissent to permutation. Just a reason why best competition is the first one. We'll concede the result means the firm decision. We are a firm decision. However, we concede that should does not mean we can be uncertain and develop. So it means the process textual competition doesn't apply because it defines what the words of the plan. So we should be able to define what the plan is on. Development is a process probably really damning on this question, because the plan does not have to mandate like the president signs the legislation. Does not have to mandate the intricacies of how the plan will be enacted, like creating the blueprints for the spacecraft. Similarly, it does not have to mandate that to a part of the process where implementing the implementing the plan will be consulting Russia, i.e., we would immediately enact the plan, but the process would enact immediately, which solves all their offense by consultation and immediacy is good. What? It begins with consulting Russia as a means of this, the process and the implementation for how the plan would work. Probably solves all their offense. There is not an answer to this. If we have that definition was for it, and it was made in the 2 EC in the 1 hour. Probably proves this is the reason why the count is not competitive, and we win.